Hello, everyone. I know we're running a little late, but we'll just wait for everyone to log on and then we'll begin. Just going to give it a couple more minutes for everyone to get online and then we'll begin.
All right, I think you guys can see and hear me now, right?
Yeah.
All right, we made it in.
We're about to begin.
Okay, great.
All right. Well, good morning and welcome to LABC's virtual solar feed-in tariff, or FIT for short, webinar in partnership with LADWP and the Green Together Collaborative. I'm Ariel Lopez, Sustainability Policy and Programs Associate at the LABC, and we are very glad that you have joined us today to learn about the benefits of Los Angeles Department and Water Power's Solar FIT program and how to turn your property into an asset. This program is unlike other solar programs. Instead of paying for solar, this program pays you for going solar. It is a unique solar program that increases your property value at zero cost, secures up to 20-year revenue stream, helps Los Angeles achieve 100% clean energy, and improves local grid reliability. For the past decade, the Los Angeles Business Council has helped develop, expand, and champion the crucial solar program that has created thousands of new jobs throughout Los Angeles, brought in millions of dollars of revenue for property owners in disadvantaged communities, supported small businesses, and propelled Los Angeles toward a clean energy future. We are proud to be a member of the Green Together Collaborative, a key partnership for the Los Angeles Business Council, focusing on bringing cleaner streets, safer air, and growing equity in the Northeast San Fernando Valley, a historically underserved community. The Green Together Collaborative aims to empower communities in Pacoima and Sun Valley, an area long subjected to concerning levels of pollution, to choose their own goals, strategies, and projects to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and local air pollution. The collaborative's vision is to help build a community that is safe, green, socially inclusive, and resilient to climate change. We have a long history of working in the Northeast San Fernando Valley with our coalition partners to reduce adverse health impacts resulting from incompatible land uses through the Clean Up, Green Up ordinance, increased deployment of local solar by expanding the FIT program and targeting it into the communities that need it the most, and replacing aging fossil fuel infrastructure with clean energy technologies. To further the Green Together Collaborative goals, we're honored to be joined today by LADWP's Distributed Energy Resource Program engineers, Justin Ailman and Ronak Chikalia, as well as Jonathan Port, CEO of Permacity Solar, a division of Catalyze, to discuss and share best practices and learn how you can participate in the feed-in tariff solar program. Before we begin, I want to note that you can type any questions in the Q&A feature at the bottom of our screen, and we will relay them to our speakers after their presentations. You will also be able to access this workshop after the event on our website at labusinesscouncil.org. To tell us more about the FIT program, LADWP will be giving us a presentation. The LADWP has been a champion of clean energy programs and environmental justice, leading the tripling of the FIT program last December to 450 megawatts of total capacity. LADWP is also leading the LA 100 initiative to transition LADWP to 100% renewable electricity by 2040, where the feed-in tariff program will be a large part of the in-basin energy portfolio. Without further ado, please welcome Justin and Ronak from LADWP's Distributed Energy Resource Program team.
Thank you, Ariel, for the wonderful introduction and providing us a great overview of the Feed-in Tariff program. Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today for our Feed-in Tariff workshop. We're always excited to be here and talk to our different programs and, really showcase what we're doing here at Water and Power. The Los Angeles Department of Water and Power is committed to expanding its renewable resource portfolio, and we are committed to Mayor Garcetti's goals from LA's Green New Deal. LA's Green New Deal calls out for local goals through a partnership as far as renewables, local solar, and energy storage is concerned. Through successful partnerships we have built with everyone here today, we have the most successful feed-in tariff program in the nation and have retained the #1 solar city title in the United States based on total installed solar PV capacity for the last 3 consecutive years. So a big round of applause to everyone in this room that has allowed this program to be a huge success. For today's agenda, we will cover our very successful net energy metering program briefly, and then dive into the specifics of our feed-in tariff program. We will also highlight our 2 new pilot programs that were recently approved, being our FIT Plus and VNEM pilot program. So diving right in, our net energy metering program has been very successful since its inception. This program is tailored towards customers looking to reduce their on-site load by installing a PV system through a contractor of their choice and is interconnected to LADWP's grid as a behind-the-meter system. The net difference between the on-site load and PV generation at that facility is what the customer is responsible for paying on a monthly basis. Any excess generation will be applied as credits to the customer's future bill. NEM customers are able to take advantage of the investment tax credit that is still readily available. For those of you that are interested in our net energy metering program, I recommend you to take a look at our website, which is marketplace.ladwp.com/solar. You'll find an interactive tool you can use that basically allows you to input your information, and in return, it will provide you some estimated savings, that you will incur through the installation of a solar system. I will now pass it on to our project manager, Mr. Justin Alleman, that will walk us through the specifics of our feed-in tariff program.
Thank you, Ronik. So just briefly about the program benefits of participating in the FIT. As a property owner, you're able to monetize an underutilized asset in your rooftop or parking lot space in order to generate consistent revenue streams of up to 20 years. Unlike the net energy metering program that Ronik had just talked about, projects in the FIT are really for the generation being sold back to LADWP. You're also helping Los Angeles to achieve its 100% clean energy goals, and you're helping to improve the reliability of the local grid. As a solar developer, you're helping to create employment opportunities in the development of and the ongoing maintenance of these FIT facilities. You have the opportunity to expand your portfolio since there's a lot of need throughout the city of LA for these renewable projects. And you have the ability to secure the investment tax credit, which for the remainder of 2021 and for 2022 is at 26%, declining to 22% in 2023, and declining even further to 10% in 2024. And now some just brief program highlights of what the FIT has gone through over the last year or so. The Los Angeles City Council has authorized a runway of 450 megawatts, which will be released in 50 megawatt tranches in the years to come as we learn more about the market and as technologies develop. The FIT is now open to all renewable energy technologies, not just solar. So anything that the California Energy Commission deems as a renewable energy technology will be eligible to apply for our program. And lastly, we updated the pricing structure of our current offering to incentivize the development of more small scale and medium scale projects, as this is where most of our distribution need currently lies. So for projects greater than 3 megawatts, the current price of energy is 13.5 cents per kilowatt hour. Projects between 500 kilowatts and 3 megawatts will be at 14 cents. And for those smaller projects between 30 kilowatts and 500 kilowatts, we're offering 14.5 cents per kilowatt hour. Now, what does the participation process look like for the feed-in tariff program? The first step for you is to find a site and work with the property owner, whether that's another party or yourself, to secure site control, as this is what's necessary to make sure that you're eligible and allowed to build that facility on the property. From there, you can work with a solar developer to determine an approximate size of the system that you'd be able to build. And once that's complete, you can then fill out the FIT application and business forms, which can be found on our website. Moving towards the LADWP side, we will then technical screen and review your application to determine if and how your project can fit within our distribution grid. If all goes well, we will then assign you to a design engineer who will work with you more closely to determine the specifics of your equipment and interconnection design. At the same time, we'll be executing contracts of up to 20 years. We use very standard power purchase agreements and interconnection agreements in order to set up that relationship to buy that power from your facility. From that point, we give you approximately 12 months to finish building and constructing your project. Once it's done, that's when we begin the payments for any and all energy that you deliver to our grid. We estimate that this participation process takes around 18 to 24 months, depending on the size and nature of your specific project. The feed-in tariff has its own website, ladwp.com/fit, where you can find the most relevant program information and program updates, as well as all of our program documents, such as the FIT application package, the business forms, and all the contracts for your reference. We also provide statistics and relevant program information, such as our FIT monthly dashboard that we do update on a regular basis. Here we have 78.8 megawatts of projects currently reserved and under development, 86.2 megawatts of projects delivering energy to the grid, and that leaves us currently with 20 megawatts of projects still available for new applications. We also keep track of how many applications and how many projects we commission in any given month, and we leave that here for your reference. We also keep track of how each project is flowing throughout our FIT process. So as you can see, we have 11 projects or 4.3 megawatts currently in the technical screening phase, 30.5 megawatts or 50 projects currently in the contract execution phase. And for our latest FIT Plus developments, Ronick will talk to you about that.
Thank you, Justin. To accelerate our transition towards a 100% renewable and resilient electric grid, our board recently approved the FIT Plus pilot program that expands our existing FIT program to include 10 megawatts of solar and paired energy storage projects. We are really excited about this pilot as we look to deploy solar plus storage coupled assets within the city of Los Angeles to meet our long-term goals of having 80% renewable energy capacity and 1,000 megawatts of renewable local solar by 2030. The FIT Plus program is structured through a competitive bidding process to maximize value for the energy exported back to the grid and our ratepayers. For projects participating in the FIT Plus program, systems will only be able to interconnect to our 4.8 kV distribution system and limited to a system size of 500 kilowatts. We are currently taking new applications under Tranche B that cover specific zones within the South LA and East Valley region. This competitive bidding period opened on July 27 and will end on October 26 of this year. We currently have 6 megawatts of available capacity under this tranche and urge you to apply if your project falls within the respective zone. The virtual net energy metering program is an arrangement that basically allows a multi-meter property owner to build a single solar system on the property and allocate a portion of the proceeds to tenants. Proceeds from the sale of the energy will be financially divided, with no less than 40% going to the building's tenants. Unlike net energy metering customers who receive credit balances on their bi-monthly LADWP bills, tenants will receive monthly checks from LADWP using the current feed-in tariff purchase price of energy. Thank you very much for listening. We will be taking questions a little later when all the presentations are complete.
All right, thank you, LADWP, for a very informative presentation and for being such a leader in making Los Angeles more sustainable. I am now pleased to introduce Permacity's CEO, Jonathan Port. Permacity has a lot of experience with the FIT program and has done several projects in the East Valley. Jonathan will be talking to us about some of the FIT projects. Take it away, Jonathan.
Great, thanks everyone. Nice to be here. I will get our presentation going. Let me make sure this. Okay, great. So hi, I'm Jonathan Port, president of Permacity. We're now a division of Catalyze. We've been doing this for quite a while, since 2003. I'm from Los Angeles, and it's been my dream to see Los Angeles be 100% renewable, sustainable, and a leader for the rest of the world. Very happy that we can participate in that. So now as part of Catalyze, we've secured all the capital we need to contribute this to LA. So that's not an issue for those of you that need capital to transform your properties. We've started with solar, and now we can fund what's called smart energy infrastructure. And we're vertically integrated all the way through our technology, all through financing the projects. We classify ourselves now as an independent power producer. So this is a great opportunity for everyone to partner with us, use our resources, and help Los Angeles get on with the mission of transforming. Again, I said we have all the capital secured. We have all the technology secured. We own our own battery company. We have our supply chains worked out, so we can really be of assistance to those of you that want to make a difference and participate in this program. We do, of course, we do solar, we do battery storage, and we also do energy upgrades. This is a picture of the mayor on top of the Westmont project. That was the world's largest at the time. We'll see a picture of that later. That was 16.5 megawatts and powers approximately 5,000 homes worth of solar. And here it is. The interesting thing about this, you can see right behind it is one of our oil refineries and other things that need to be shut down. There's actually an old power plant to the south. So this is a delight to those communities as these fossil fuels plants get shut down, the air becomes cleaner, and of course we make a big dent at curbing climate change, which is really what Permacity is in here for. This is a project in Sun Valley. This underneath, one of the main tenants is a division of Amazon, but this power is actually sold to the city, and it's used to augment the property value. So we started with very, very large projects, introducing our technology. We're continuing on with that, but we're moving down, and we can really be helpful to much smaller projects, as we'll see in a moment. This is the big Budweiser facility. We're in the middle of transforming that. We're in phase 2, and we're planning phase 3. So I think we're going to have some of the most sustainable beer in the world soon. Here is an example of a smaller project. This is a multifamily apartment building. Here we can do a much more modest sum of solar, but that can offset almost all the units there, and we can apply batteries. And this is a really good candidate to participate in the FIT solar and battery program, or into the virtual net metering, or into just offsetting the bills. So if any of you have medium-sized apartment buildings and you want to look at the resources, we'd love to talk to you. Again, this was about 267 kW, and just to cut into it, if this may be too small to see, but it actually, over the life of the investment, it would actually yield the owner about almost $500,000. So we started with large FIT projects, and we're moving to much smaller solar and battery projects, and we're moving to funding complete transformations of properties. Again, this is a little too much detail on this slide, but again, we'd love to work with you guys. If anyone has some properties, they want to get the resources to do that, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Jonathan. So I wanted to open up now to questions. First of all, I just want to know, what is the minimum size requirement for the FIT program on a property?
Minimum size for FIT in terms of the facility size is 30 kilowatts.
30 kilowatts. What about square footage? Is there a specific size for a building?
Oh, it used to be, we said 50,000 square foot roof. I think if you have a 10,000 square foot roof and you want to participate, 10 to 20,000, we might be able to we can find a way to make that work, particularly with the solar and battery program.
Okay.
It started big, but we're allowed to, we can really fund much smaller now. Things have become more efficient.
Yeah, so multifamily buildings definitely could be great candidates for the FIT.
Yeah, I think anyone who can participate, if you look at the mission and the transformation of Los Angeles, LADWP needs gigawatts of in-basin solar. So we need to really look at the smaller projects. And fortunately, when you combine the two, the solar and the battery, it becomes large enough to make it feasible, at least for third-party funding.
Yeah.
And just to add to that as well, obviously the technology has come a long way, and obviously now from a size perspective, you're going to get more wattage from these newer PV panels, and so that definitely helps as far as square footage is concerned, just reducing the overall square footage per kilowatt.
Got it. This one's for Jonathan. As solar panels become more efficient, will there be an opportunity down the line to replace an existing system panels to produce more power?
Yeah, so I didn't go too much into the solar strap technology, but we are able to upgrade very easily with it. It's very low impact on the roof. We actually have our own, took like 7 years, but we have our own building code around it. And I can say that some of the first systems we installed in 2003 have already been upgraded. The solar panels were working fine, but it had an increase of power. So those panels were actually donated to developing countries, and there was enough economic incentive to upgrade. So yes. Answer is yes, they can be. I wouldn't use that as a reason to delay. There's very gradual improvements in the technology, and what you get now makes a big difference.
Okay. We had someone ask, do we have to look for a solar company to work with this, or is there one assigned to this project? So the Los Angeles Business Council, we have members who are solar providers. Permacity, Jonathan's company, is one of them. So if you are interested in seeing how this program could benefit your property, you can reach out to me. I will put my email in this chat, which is alopez@labusinesscouncil.org. And I can set up a meeting with one of our solar provider members that will then be able to analyze your property and see how the program can fit with your property. So I just answered that question. Let's see. What if there is no existing infrastructure? What's the logistical events that happen? How many tenants are affected? I don't know how to answer really that question.
No existing infrastructure.
There would have to be existing infrastructure.
On the FITs have their own independent infrastructure, or they work with the existing infrastructure. So
okay.
I think it really depends on the project.
Let's see. Why is the FIT Plus program limited to 500 kilowatts? Why not 1 megawatt?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the way the FIT Plus program, the FIT Plus pilot program, in essence, is structured right now, it caters to our 4.8 kV distribution system, because that's our system that's impacted the most. And so for our pilot, we just wanted to target specific zones where our system is impacted the most. And, after doing a study, we figured that, a 500 kilowatt system would be sufficient, to cater to our distribution needs. So that's the intention for the pilot. There'll be lessons learned from this pilot. And, as we expand to a full FIT program, a FIT Plus program, we are going to look into the 34.5 kV distribution system, and at that time we will be increasing our capacity as well.
Amazing. So I have another question. From a program design perspective, how did you land at the pricing shown? Seems incredibly generous given the solar market and excess solar production during the middle of the day. Sounds like more like a logistical question.
Yeah, that's a great question. And it stems back to what I previously stated, as far as, us being the most successful feed-in tariff program in the nation, right? And so we are driven, through a specific purpose as far as, getting all this energy and exported directly back to the grid, because, for REC purposes, it's very important, as far as all this in-basin generation is concerned. And that's why, after assessing the market, we figured that there is a specific value to our customer at incentivizing them at a specific rate. And yeah, certainly it's a generous rate, but there is a grid need, and there is also a need from a renewable standpoint. And so that's why, we structured it in the way that it is.
Amazing. How does a site owner get compensated for renting the roof space for a FIT project?
Oh, I just answered that. I thought, we missed it. So we pay a fixed rent or a percentage rent. Okay. Guaranteed fixed rent or a percentage rent on the FIT.
I know we answered this one, but I want other people to hear it as well. Can one FIT application include multiple buildings and or contiguous sites?
Yeah, so each FIT application is limited to the bounds of a single legal parcel. So if you have multiple buildings on that parcel, then that would work. However, if the buildings are on distinct parcels, then that would need to have separate applications as well.
Okay. How does a solar company become a vendor for the FIT program?
Yeah, so you don't necessarily have to become a vendor, to participate in the FIT program. There are specific requirements as far as the program is concerned. So you have to have some past experience working with, these types of systems, and, have to have some experience installing, solar systems, whether it be within DWP service territory or outside of our service territory as well.
Amazing. With LA 100's goals of achieving 3 to 4 gigawatts of local solar, how does LADWP plan to ramp up the FIT program to meet this need?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so, Justin kind of highlighted earlier as far as, the expansion is concerned, taking in 450, including 450 megawatts of capacity. And, the feed-in tariff program is, is very successful in that we see a continued stream of projects coming in. And so, as we come to the tail end in terms of available capacity, we will be going back to the board saying we want to add additional megawatts to the program. And, through partnerships with LABC and really, engaging our different customers, we're trying to bring, more people to partake in this program.
Yeah, that's why here at the Los Angeles Business Council, we are promoting this program, especially in disadvantaged communities like Pacoima and Sun Valley, trying to get people on board because this is a great program to take advantage of. So let's see, we have another question. Is the FIT rate better than what the customer can save on their own electric bill with solar?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so what we recommend in essence is if you have a property, where you intend to pursue to install some sort of a PV system, trying to figure out whether NEM makes the most sense or feed-in tariff makes the most sense, right? So generally what we say is that if you have a lot of on-site load, the recommendation is to go through to partake in the NEM process and install a behind-the-meter system, because those rates are slightly better than the feed-in tariff rates. But if you have a structure that's just sitting there idle, where you have little to no consumption, then feed-in tariff makes the most sense, right? Because you in essence are being compensated at our current rate up to 14.5 cents per kilowatt hour.
Okay.
Right. And so we have a team of experts that do the analytics for our customers to help them decide that.
Yeah, I had a question that said, are there any startup costs or general costs for an organization that we need to keep in mind?
I think that depends on how you fund it. If you go with third-party funding like ours, then there are no startup costs. If you fund it yourself, there's application fees, design fees, interconnect fees, and it goes on from there, right?
Mhm.
But we cover all those costs for our projects.
So Jonathan, if there was someone that is interested, you would just run the numbers for them and see how much revenue they would be gaining every month, and how the project or the program would actually benefit their program, their own property, right?
Right. Yeah. Our team, our analytical team will help them determine if they should be net metered or in the FIT program or a combination of both. We'll be able to estimate the cost, give them a picture of what that means.
Amazing. So I have another question. Can virtual net metering allow for generation at a different location from the user tenants? For example, at an adjacent property or out in the high desert?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the way the program is currently structured, it has to be at that specific location. Within that boundary, we don't allow it. It has to be at that specific location. But they can explore looking at our shared solar program, where basically the customer subscribes to blocks of energy. So those are in increments of 50 kilowatt hours or 100 kilowatt hours, and perhaps that program may make more sense.
Okay, can commercial installations still use ESS for demand shaving in conjunction with FIT Plus?
I think that's a good question for Ronak, but my understanding is yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, so we can use the battery basically for demand shaving, and I mean that's the whole idea of going resilient, right? We want to address our grid need and basically maximize the benefits of the battery and the PV system coupled together.
Right. So in our company, we engineer and build those systems. They can do both.
Amazing. I don't know if we answered this question yet, but do you provide incentives to include battery storage with FIT systems?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we don't necessarily have incentives, right? But the way the FIT Plus program is structured is whether if a project falls within the specific boundary, then a customer is incentivized, at a specific rate. So once we do an analysis and we receive the application and then figure out, okay, well, it's within this zone, we have a specific grid need here, we will then go back to the customer and tell them, hey, this is what that specific rate will look like. So we'll have to wait for all the applications to come in and then get back to our customers as far as that specific rate is concerned.
Great. Well, it seems like we've answered all the questions that have come in. Do you guys have any last remarks? I think that is all. Well, thank you all for joining us for the Feed-in Tariff webinar. We hope that this webinar was informative and answered any questions or doubts that you may have about the FIT Solar program. If you would like to set up a meeting with one of LABC's trusted solar providers to assess the benefits of the program on your property, please email me at a@lopez@labusinesscouncil.org. For any other questions regarding the program, feel free to also email me at the same email address. And yeah, thank you. And we hope you will be joining us for making LA greener by participating in the Feed-in Tariff Solar program. So thank you very much, everyone. And yeah, my email is in the chat.
Thank you.
Alrighty.